In 2025, Japan just broke the silence and dropped 7 cruisers that hit harder than ever. These are not retro reboots. They're fresh, loud, and built to steal the spotlight. If you think Harley owns the highway, you haven't seen what's coming down the road. Number 7. Yamaha Bolt RSpec Darkline. Nothing about this new cruiser feels recycled. The newest version of Yamaha's long-standing platform finally throws off its budget bike reputation and steps into 2025 with attitude. The Bolt RSpec Darkline is built to look lean, ride low, and growl like a gym-trained street fighter. The matte graphite bodywork isn't just a cosmetic touch, it's the new identity for a bike that once blended in too easily. Now it stands out in all the right ways. Clean lines, blacked-out mechanicals, and an aggressive stance that looks built for muscle even at a stoplight. Underneath the updated styling, the Bolt Darkline runs on an air-cooled 942 cubic centimeter V twin engine. It produces 47 horsepower and 52 pound-feet of torque modest numbers that land just right for this type of bike. The torque curve is wide and accessible, which means whether you're cruising around town or rolling into the throttle on a rural back road, the power delivery feels solid and predictable. You won't win any drag races, but that's not what this bike is built for. It's about old-school rhythm with a new-school silhouette. The ride quality sees real upgrades over previous years. Suspension is handled by standard telescopic front forks paired with twin rear shocks that have been slightly revalved for 2025 to improve rebound damping. Braking is supplied by a single front disc and single rear disc, supported by optional anti-lock braking system. The new digital display now sits cleanly in the center, showing gear position, fuel level, and trip data without overwhelming you with clutter. And that low seat height of just under 28 inches means most riders can flat foot with confidence, making it approachable for cruiser veterans and newer riders alike. The real charm, though, is in the handling. The Bolt RSpec Darkline weighs in at 546 pounds wet. That's light by cruiser standards, and it shows up in tight turns, city corners, and even low-speed maneuvering in parking lots. Combined with a short wheelbase and neutral steering geometry, this cruiser doesn't require muscle to muscle. It responds easily, gliding through traffic and carving gentle lines down 2-lane highways. And despite the lightweight chassis, the steel double cradle frame adds just enough backbone to soak up bumps without ever feeling vague or flexy. Styling choices speak to a younger, more minimalist direction. The short fenders, side-mounted plate holder, bobbed rear end, and drag-style handlebar put the rider in a slightly aggressive posture, just forward enough to feel sporty without losing the relaxed DNA of a cruiser. There's no flashy chrome or oversized tanks here, just a streamlined tank design with Yamaha's retro-styled badge, integrated lighting, and a sculpted solo seat that's more comfortable than it looks. With a base price of $8,199, the Bolt RSpec Darkline lands in the sweet spot for riders looking to escape the cookie-cutter cruiser look without jumping into a full-sized heavyweight. It's simple, functional, and surprisingly fun. The mechanical simplicity of the air-cooled engine means low maintenance, and the Darkline trim finally delivers the visual punch this platform always deserved. But if retro muscle isn't your thing, the next one dials in futurism without forgetting its cruiser route. We poured hours into finding the real facts on these bikes. No fluff, no copy-paste. If that's your kind of content, subscribing is the easiest win of the day. Number 6. Kawasaki Vulcan 900 Custom. There's something about a big Japanese cruiser that doesn't shout for attention but earns it anyway. And the newest version of the Vulcan 900 Custom fits that description like a glove. For 2025, Kawasaki rolled out a serious refinement of its midsize workhorse, combining heritage styling with meaningful technical upgrades. This is not a complete overhaul. It's smarter than that. The Vulcan 900 has always held a unique spot in the market for riders who want that deep V-twin rumble without the top-heavy weight or intimidating size, and this year's Custom just gave it more muscle, more smoothness, and more attitude. At the heart of the machine is a liquid-cooled 4-stroke 52-degree V-twin engine producing 897 cubic centimeters of displacement. It pushes out 50 horsepower and 58 pound-feet of torque, enough to pull strong off the line, stay steady on long stretches, and comfortably handle 2-up riding without feeling overworked. The 5-speed transmission now feels tighter and cleaner thanks to revised balanced gear ratios and improved final drive tuning. Throttle response is sharper, especially in the lower rev range, making the Vulcan 900 feel more alive through urban traffic or winding roads. And the new slipper clutch reduces lever effort while adding an extra layer of safety for downshifting under load. Styling-wise, the updates for 2025 are subtle but strong. A sleeker fuel tank design with new embossed Vulcan badging adds modern detail to a timeless silhouette. The blacked-out engine covers and matte accents contrast beautifully with the custom's bold colorways, especially the deep graphite and pearl crimson combination. A new LED lighting package replaces the old halogen setup, giving the front end a fresher, more aggressive profile that finally matches the rest of the bike's design language. It rides on cast alloy wheels with polished rims that balance muscle and refinement without tipping too far into show bike territory. On the ergonomic side, Kawasaki reworked the saddle padding and seat angle to reduce fatigue, especially for taller riders. The forward-mounted floorboards stay in place, giving that signature laid-back cruiser stance, while wide pullback handlebars keep the riding posture upright and relaxed. The suspension remains a reliable combination. A telescopic front fork with 5.9 inches of travel paired with a 7-position preload adjustable monoshock in the rear. Combined with the steel double cradle frame, this setup keeps the Vulcan nimble enough for weekday commutes, but planted enough for long weekend escape. In terms of stopping power, the braking system includes a single 300mm front disc with twin piston calipers and a 268mm rear disc with a single piston setup. It's not sport bike sharp, but it's effective and consistent, perfect for a cruiser in this weight and power class. Speaking of weight, the Vulcan tips the scales at 570 pounds wet, which makes it manageable for a wide range of riders while still delivering the presence expected from a classic Japanese cruiser. With a base price starting around $9,300, the Kawasaki Vulcan 900 Custom is one of the most well-rounded, no-nonsense cruiser options available in 2025. You're getting classic Japanese engineering, serious V-twin torque, and new tech where it matters, all wrapped in a package that looks tougher and rides smoother than ever before. Looking for something leaner, cleaner, and loaded with attitude? The next entry drops the weight and cranks up the street cred. We've already done the testing, so you don't have to. Check the description for the gear that actually holds up on the road. Number 5. Honda Rebel 500. Some motorcycles are built to intimidate, others are built to inspire. The Rebel 500 lands somewhere in between, an approachable midweight cruiser that just got a serious edge for 2025. Honda didn't reinvent the wheel, but they certainly rebalanced it, giving the new Rebel tighter handling, smoother electronics, and a street presence that makes it feel far more grown-up than its beginner-friendly reputation suggests. At the core of the bike is a 471 cubic centimeter parallel twin engine, liquid-cooled and paired to a slick 6-speed transmission. It puts out 47 horsepower and 32 pound-feet of torque numbers that may not wow at first glance, but once you ride it, the smooth power band and light clutch pull tell a different story. It's predictable, responsive, and remarkably refined, even for riders stepping up from smaller displacements. This new version introduces Honda's updated ride-by-wire throttle system, which offers sharper low-end response, cleaner roll-on, and more consistent fueling under mixed throttle conditions. That means better control in traffic, smoother acceleration on the open road, and a ride feel that punches well above its category. The suspension geometry has also been tweaked. Up front, you're looking at a conventional 41mm fork, now tuned for better damping over rough surfaces. In the rear, Honda's dual shock setup remains intact, but spring rates and rebound control have been revised to better handle mixed loads, whether you're solo or riding two up. Stopping power comes from a single 296mm disc up front with a twin piston caliper and a rear 240mm disc. Anti-lock braking system is now standard for all trim levels. Aesthetically, the bike takes a major step forward. The tank is more sculpted, now integrated with a redesigned seat that lowers the center of gravity while maintaining a 30-inch seat height. This means shorter riders won't be tiptoeing at stoplights, and taller riders still get plenty of legroom. The new headlight is a compact round LED unit with integrated turn signals, while the tail section has been cleaned up with a minimalist fender and side mount plate bracket. In terms of weight, the Rebel 500 tips the scales at 364 pounds wet, which includes fluids and a full fuel tank. That makes it one of the lightest true cruisers in its class. an advantage for maneuvering in tight city streets or navigating parking lots with confidence. For tech, you now get a compact digital display mounted on the bars with gear position, fuel economy data, trip meters, and adjustable brightness. It's not overdone or packed with unnecessary screens, but it gives just enough feedback to keep riders informed without distraction. Optional accessories now include a cafe-style cowl, saddlebag mounts, and a rear seat with sissy bar, features that make the Rebel 500 as tour-friendly as it is commuter-ready. The price? You're looking at a base model that starts around $6,900. With a few add-ons, it still stays well below the $10,000 mark, making it one of the most value-packed cruisers available from any Japanese manufacturer today. This is not a bike built for ego. It's built for experience. The Rebel 500 has always been a stepping stone for riders entering the cruiser world, but with these latest upgrades, it's finally standing tall as a serious contender on its own term. If small cruisers feel too polite, get ready, because the next one rumbles in with heavyweight attitude. Number 4. Suzuki Intruder 1500X. There's something about the return of a legend that grabs your attention before the engine even fires up. That's exactly what Suzuki has done for 2025 with the rebirth of the Intruder name, now wearing a sharper suit, sitting lower and hitting harder than it ever has before. This isn't some badge-swapped leftover from the Boulevard series. The Intruder 1500X is a from-the-ground-up re-engineering effort meant to give heavyweight cruisers a punch in the gut and a reminder of what Japanese muscle really looks like. What you're dealing with here is a true power cruiser. At the core of the machine is a liquid-cooled, 4-stroke, fuel-injected V-twin engine with a displacement of 1,462 cubic centimeters. It delivers 121 horsepower and 102 pound-feet of torque, giving it enough low-end grunt to pull highway speeds in one breath and make passing maneuvers feel almost arrogant. Paired with a 6-speed constant mesh transmission, the power band feels smooth but aggressive, perfect for long, straight roads or twisting mountain routes alike. This bike doesn't just talk the talk. It rides on a brand new chassis geometry that's been recalibrated for better cornering clearance and low-speed balance. Dual-disc brakes in the front with radial-mounted calipers give it serious stopping power, while the rear setup balances that aggression with a planted, stable feel. Suspension duties are handled by an inverted telescopic fork up front and a link-type monoshock in the rear, both tuned for comfort without compromising confidence. The curb weight lands at around 750 pounds, giving it a solid road presence without dragging you into heavyweight fatigue. Design-wise, the Intruder 1500X looks like it was forged in a wind tunnel and hardened in a bar fight. Everything from the low-slung profile and angular tank design to the blacked-out engine covers and sculpted rear fender feels purpose-built. The LED headlamp is aggressive without being cartoonish, and the swept-back handlebars provide a more laid-back position that still feels commanding. The bike's ergonomics were tuned to suit taller riders, but a low seat height and narrow midsection keep it accessible for most cruiser fans. Suzuki also brought it into the modern era with just enough tech to compete without overwhelming you with screens and settings. You'll find multiple ride modes, standard traction control, anti-lock braking system, and a fully digital thin-film transistor display that's easy to read without distracting from the ride. The layout includes gear position, fuel range, temperature, and RPM, all on a single glance. One of the smartest moves Suzuki made with the Intruder 1500X is the price. With a starting tag of $13,499, it undercuts much of its American competition while offering similar power, better refinement, and more cutting-edge features. This isn't a budget brawler. It's a calculated hit that knows exactly what it's doing. This machine was not designed to blend in at the bike night parking lot. It was built to park sideways in front of the bar and leave tire marks when it leaves. The new Intruder doesn't pretend to be a lifestyle brand or a nostalgia trip. It's here to reclaim space in a market where muscle and manners rarely mix well, and it might just do it better than anyone else this year. So you've seen power and polish, but what happens when you cross precision engineering with unapologetic brawler energy? Number 3. Honda Magna 1100. There's no mistaking the return of an icon. This is not a rehash of the past. It's a bold redesign. The Magna is back for 2025, and this time it's tuned for torque refinement and real-world muscle. Honda didn't revive the Magna just for nostalgia. They brought it back to reshape what Japanese power cruisers can look and feel like for modern American riders. Gone is the VI4 setup of old. What you get now is a parallel twin engine taken directly from the Africa Twin, then reworked for low-end pull control and smoother acceleration. The engine is an 1184 cubic centimeter liquid-cooled parallel twin, producing 97 horsepower and 72 pound-feet of torque. It's paired to a 6-speed transmission with slipper assist clutch, tuned to feel responsive and muscular without being jerky or overbearing. Honda's electronic suite comes standard, including throttle-by-wire, traction control, multiple ride modes, and cruise control. Rider-focused systems that feel intuitive rather than intrusive. The exhaust is a 2-into-1 system, blacked out and shortcut, giving the Magna a deep growl rather than a high-rev scream. Every twist of the throttle delivers a heavy punch, perfect for riders who want power but aren't chasing redline theatrics. Underneath that modern muscle sits a brand new twin spar steel frame tuned for mid-weight balance with cruiser stability. The front suspension features a 43mm Showa inverted fork with cartridge damping, while the rear uses a preload adjustable dual shock setup with longer travel than you'd expect on a cruiser. Braking is handled by dual 310mm discs up front with 4-piston Nissin calipers and a 240mm rear disc, all managed by standard anti-lock braking system. The curb weight comes in at 564 pounds, keeping it manageable at low speeds and stable at highway pace. Styling-wise, the Magna keeps its silhouette clean and aggressive. There's a sculpted 18-liter tank that flows into a tuck-and-roll saddle with minimal rear fender. LED lighting is featured throughout, including the aggressive hexagonal headlamp and compact indicators. The mid-controls are paired with flat drag bars, offering a slightly aggressive posture without compromising comfort for taller or older riders. The exposed subframe, flat side panels, and blackout finishes keep the aesthetic muscular and modern. This isn't retro cosplay. It's sharp, fast, and unapologetically Japanese. Pricing starts at $13,400, which places it right in the competitive zone between stripped-down American cruisers and tech-loaded sport tourers. But what sets the Magna apart is how much attitude and engineering it packs into a mid-weight chassis. It's not trying to play catch-up, it's aiming to lead. And with Honda's reliability and performance legacy behind it, this is one resurrection that doesn't just honor the name, it redefines it. But the next one is not about legacy. It's about engineering a completely new kind of middleweight cruiser from the ground up. Number 2. Yamaha Eler X. If there's one bike in this lineup that doesn't care about tradition and dares to rewrite what a cruiser can be, it's the Yamaha Eler X. This machine isn't just a restyle of a past model, it's a full departure from the conventional design playbook. Yamaha took the beating heart of its proven sport platform and reworked it into something lean, fast, and unmistakably modern. The Eler X is a new breed, not a touring machine, not a naked sport bike, something altogether different but still unmistakably Japanese. At the center of this forward-thinking cruiser is a liquid-cooled 890 cubic centimeter inline triple engine derived from Yamaha's high-performance MT series. It delivers 117 horsepower and 69 pound-feet of torque, offering thrilling roll-on power without the aggressive riding position or harsh ride. This engine is paired with revised short gearing, allowing riders to experience immediate throttle response, ideal for quick city acceleration and confident highway overtaking. In terms of mechanical underpinnings, the Eler X stands out. It features fully adjustable upside-down front forks and a rear monoshock designed for urban flexibility and mid-distance comfort. Braking is handled by dual radial-mounted 4-piston calipers up front and a single disc in the rear, both with anti-lock braking system standard. The entire package tips the scale at 529 pounds wet, offering a balance of stability and agility rarely seen in cruisers of this size. Stylistically, the Eler X is radical. Its LED strip lighting spans across a sharply sculpted headlight unit that makes it look more like a concept vehicle than a showroom model. The tank design features integrated paneling and soft edges that flow directly into the seat and rear fender assembly. Matte finishes, blacked-out hardware, and flush-mounted turn signals keep the silhouette clean and aggressive. The Eler X includes integrated hard saddlebags that blend seamlessly into the bodywork, practical without compromising visual flow. Where this machine truly steps ahead of the pack is in tech. A voice-activated smart cluster system with Bluetooth and Wi-Fi integration allows for navigation, music control, and voice messaging, all without removing your gloves. The display is a new high-contrast 5-inch TFT unit with customizable layouts. Ride modes, traction control, and cruise control come standard, making this one of the most connected Japanese cruisers on the road. There is even a proximity key system with push to start, further signaling Yamaha's effort to modernize the riding experience for a new generation. The ergonomics of the Eler X split the difference between cruiser and standard. Forward-mounted mid-controls, a step 2-up seat, and swept-back handlebars create a riding triangle that works for both daily commuting and relaxed long rides. The low seat height of 28.5 inches allows for confident stops, even for shorter riders, without compromising foot control. With a starting price of $12,900, the Eler X doesn't aim to be budget-friendly. It aims to be bold. And for riders looking to break out of the traditional chrome-heavy mold, this bike delivers something no American cruiser currently offers: high-tech performance in a stealth cruiser suit. It's a motorcycle that feels like it's from the future without forgetting the rumble of the road. And if you're still not impressed, the next and final entry proves Japan still knows how to swing hard in the heavyweight division. Number 1. Suzuki Boulevard M95. This is not just another refreshed cruiser, this is a brand new platform that marks Suzuki's boldest move in over a decade. The Boulevard M95 is Suzuki's full-scale strike into the heavyweight cruiser territory for 2025, and it lands with serious attitude. With aggressive proportions, premium fit and finish, and modern rider-focused engineering, this machine isn't just meant to ride, it's meant to lead. The Boulevard M95 is powered by a new 1158 cubic centimeter liquid-cooled V-twin engine, producing a solid 110 horsepower and 101 pound-feet of torque. Those numbers make it more powerful than the previous Boulevard M109ER while shaving weight for better handling. The engine uses a revised combustion chamber for cleaner mid-range delivery and features a dual counterbalancer system to reduce unwanted vibrations, meaning you get a muscular feel without the fatigue on long rides. Riders will also appreciate the 6-speed transmission with slipper clutch, making gear changes smoother during aggressive deceleration. Final power delivery is handled through a reinforced belt drive, giving the M95 the durability of a muscle cruiser with the subtlety of a touring rig. Electronic fuel injection keeps throttle response crisp and consistent, whether you're tearing up highways or crawling through city traffic. At the chassis level, this machine features a new steel twin-spar frame that balances high-speed stability with low-speed agility. Suspension duties are handled by an electronically controlled inverted front fork and a single-link adjustable rear shock with preload and rebound settings. The setup offers both stiffness when you need it and comfort when you do not. Braking is equally impressive, with twin radial-mounted 4-piston front calipers gripping large 310mm rotors, while a single 2-piston rear caliper keeps things steady. Anti-lock braking system comes standard, providing extra confidence when road conditions turn. The design language of the M95 screams stealth cruiser. It features a low-slung fuel tank with angular sculpting, a full blackout treatment with just enough polished accents to break up the silhouette, and short rear fenders that expose a meaty 240mm rear tire. The front LED headlamp unit is deeply recessed and flanked by vertical running lights that give the bike an unmistakable signature. All cabling is hidden internally through the handlebars and frame, allowing for a clean, muscular aesthetic from every angle. Ergonomically, the bike feels long and planted, but the riding triangle remains relaxed and neutral. Forward-mounted controls, a 2-piece seat with lumbar support, and mid-rise drag bars offer comfort for long stints without sacrificing that aggressive profile. At 680 pounds wet, the M95 is lighter than its main competitors in the heavyweight cruiser segment, while retaining the road presence riders expect from a big Japanese cruiser. With a starting price of $15,799, the Boulevard M95 positions itself as a premium performance cruiser without stepping into luxury tax territory. You are getting torque tech and touring capability in one complete package, engineered in Japan but built for American roads. These bikes are not just upgrades, they are declarations. And in a cruiser market chasing its past, these 7 Japanese machines prove one thing loud and clear. The future can still ride low, thunder hard, and take the lead without apology. If any of these cruisers got your throttle hand twitching, drop it in the comments, like, subscribe, and we'll keep the good stuff coming. No chrome polish needed.